Hello dear yoga friends, namaste. So if you've ever seen images of Shiva and wondered why he's got a crescent moon in his hair, I'm here to tell you. There are actually a few different stories why. I'm going to share two of them with you today. So if you ever hear, if you're singing along with a mantra or kirtan and you hear the word Chandra Shekhara, that's another name of Shiva, and Chandra is the moon. So he's the one who wears the moon in his hair. And one of the stories goes that when the ocean of milk was being churned because the gods and goddesses had lost all their power, so they had to find the Amrit, the nectar of immortality, which had been lost in the great milky ocean. And so they all got together and they were stirring this ocean, trying to bring up this great nectar. But nectar wasn't the first thing that came up. The first thing that came up was poison, and everyone was in a panic because if any of this poison got free, if any of it dropped, the whole world would be destroyed. And so everyone freaking out, nobody knows what to do, and Shiva steps in and says, "Don't worry, I got this." Shiva takes the poison and he drinks it, and he holds it in his throat until it's no longer harmful to people. And as he's holding it in his throat, something terrible happens. He starts to get really, really hot. His body temperature starts rising and rising, and now everyone is terrified because they're thinking they're gonna lose Shiva. I mean, without Shiva, the god of destruction, the whole world goes into chaos. And so they had to come up with a solution really fast to prevent Shiva from dying from this poison. And so they found the moon, and they got the moon, and they put the moon on Shiva's head, thinking that the sweet, cooling, and gentle energy of the moon would help save him. And right away, his body temperature went down, 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 down. And Shiva was saved by the soft, sweet power of the cool moonlight. I think that's a lovely story because I bet if you're anything like me, you love the moon, especially on those big full moon nights. And you can think about the moon as just sort of bathing you in a coolness, and especially if you have, if you start to get hot-headed, if you're really worked up about something, maybe look at an image of a moon or just go out in the moonlight at night and let it fall on you, and maybe it'll cool you down like it cooled Shiva down. The other thing I've heard that I think is really wonderful, and this comes from Bharati, who's the Sanskrit teacher at Ananda Ashram. She says Shiva wears the crescent moon in his hair because the crescent moon represents all of us who are still a little broken or still like not quite there yet. We're trying so hard to walk this path and like be our best selves and keep showing up in the best way possible. And sometimes we mess up, and sometimes we do the wrong thing, and sometimes we fall apart, and sometimes we take 2 steps forward and 1 step back, and we're all sort of like the crescent moon. We are whole, we are perfect, we are complete, but sometimes some of it gets hidden in the shadows. And so Shiva wears that crescent moon because he's got a really soft spot in his heart for all of us imperfect people. Thanks for listening. Namaste.